Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the water wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet would ever wander. My path would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Busirigata brodroko shasirigate brodroko koko. Diakasarigata brodroko koko. Diesirigate brodroko koko. Diesirigata brodroko koko. The dissolving light. Number 3. Look, if you have a chance to look at the screen, look at it now. The dissolving light. It is so beautiful. What a wonderful graphic. Can you see the layers of being? Kind of reminds me of the Trinity, or it also could be representative of like higher self, earth self, child, or inner child, present self, higher self, Holy Spirit, earthly self. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I see at least 4 layers of like person in there. Anyway, how beautiful. The dissolving light. I died as mineral and became a plant. I died as plant and rose to animal. I died as animal and I became human. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less by dying? Dare to take my hand and become set alight with holy fire, my cherished one. Step forward with me. Let us burn together. Dissembled in the light that cannot be extinguished. Oh my gosh, I've never read this one before, but if you have been around, please go check out more of my videos. 333, as I look up, I am always talking about that unextinguishable fire, flame of fire within us. Come like a flame of fire, a mighty rushing wind. Okay, cannot be extinguished. This is the light that burns with such incandescent truth that no falsehood can withstand its audacious vibrancy. Come with me now to the light. Together we shall melt into truth. Woo! Glory. Glorious, glorious. Okay, I'm feeling the nudge to pull some of my cards that I've written. By the way, hi, welcome. My name is Brittany Sunshyne. This is SeedSoilWater. And we align here with divine revelation in the spirit for deeper roots and brighter blooms. It is so, and so it is. And let's see if there's any. Thank you, Spirit, for divine revelation. Ooh, these are a little bit stiff. It's definitely feeling like winter. Everything's a little bit cold, and so let's see if we can. Thank you, Spirit, for the divine revelation. What is the divine revelation to go with that amazing epic reading? Thank you for bringing divine revelation to the collective. How you doing? We give thanks. We give thanks for amazing revelation. We give thanks for divine purpose. There is nothing better than being in divine purpose. Making it through the journey. The journey can be really rough. It can be really rough, but wasn't it worth it to get here? Maybe you're not there yet, but you will get there, okay? Let's talk about this lady, Mary Magdalene. Talk about this lady, Mary Magdalene. One of the most widely discussed and probably, there's such a variety of things that have been perspectives that's been taken on her. But I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet for this reading. In regards to Mary Magdalene, however you want to say it. What I just got done saying about wasn't it worth it to get here? The journey can be so hard. She was widely oppressed, suppressed, polluted, held back, spiritually oppressed, but then also it depends on which frame of reference you're coming from. She's also one of the most blessed, one of the wisest She went through a lot. She learned a lot. She was extremely wise, spiritually sound, a divine vessel, surely. Yeshua kicked it with her closely, and depending once again on which perspective you come from will depend on how closely you think they were. But but like really all of that doesn't matter for this moment right here. What we're talking about is okay, so my children have found this Easter book, this kids' Easter book that's so beautiful. Hi, Mom. Because my mom used to read these to me when I was little, and it's Alice in Bible Land, I think is what it is. And it's just beautiful, like colors and pictures, beautiful illustrations and little stories, Bible stories. And the point is that what I want to highlight here about Mary is that she was the one who, at the tomb, Yeshua encountered her first upon his resurrection, and she thought he was a gardener. And look at that full circle moment from the beginning of time of Adam and Eve in the garden, her thinking he was a gardener. The timeline had shifted so dramatically, they had quantum leaped so dramatically that she thought he was a gardener. Everything was so different in that moment that they had quantum leaped back to the garden. And there he was as the gardener again. Do you see this full circle moment? Adam and Eve, remember in the beginning, were with the gardener, the creator, the gardener, Yeshua. And then the first thing out of the tomb, Mary thinks he's the gardener. Okay. I don't really know. Let me pull out that card that we just had again. The dissolving light. Of course. I died as mineral and became a plant. I died as plant and rose to animal. I died as animal and became human. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less by dying? This, of course, can be literal, and it also could, depending on what your beliefs are. Let's not get caught up in that. We're talking about everything on a level of spiritual growth right now. Every season that you went through where you felt like you were dying, you were really just transmuting, alchemizing what was before into who you were becoming. Mary Magdalene she was transmuting at such a high rate. She was able to disassociate with so much bondage, so much oppression, so much whatever, pollution, whatever you want to call it, wounding, generational garbage, that she was able to be the one that was the very first person to see Yeshua post-resurrection. And she didn't even recognize him, even though she knew him the most. But when he said her name, all he had to say was Mary. And she was like, wait a minute, like, I know that voice. Okay, I'm trying to not get too far into that because it could make me emotional. You have spiritual backup. You have spiritual backup. Did you know that? There's going to be some times where you maybe don't believe that or you don't feel it. But you do. You do have the backup. And somehow, some way, when you turn over the ingredients of your life to the Creator, to the Good Shepherd, the good one, not as if there's two creators, but I'm just talking about to the Spirit of life, that somehow, miraculously, everything can be reworked for miracles. So you're being invited to take that higher perspective. You're being invited to seek that higher perspective. Because freedom is your birthright. Freedom is your birthright. Don't settle for anything less. Do not settle for anything less. It does not matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what the 3D world looks like. It doesn't matter what the systems of man are. It doesn't matter how they're trying to fearmonger, oppress, create anger. Don't take the bait. Seek the higher perspective while pressing onward toward the mark of knowing that freedom is your birthright. Full restoration is your portion. Full restoration. Full restoration is your birthright. Forgiveness is a super key to this, by the way. Forgiving yourself and also for forgiving others. Because it is like an echo, okay? Wow. So, if you've been through the dark night of the soul, which kind of probably feels like these repeated births that we talked about in the beginning of this, just know that you have spiritual backup. Seek that higher perspective. Freedom is your birthright. Full restoration is your portion. Forgive everything. That doesn't mean that you drop your boundaries, and that doesn't mean that you have to go back in a way where you're letting people have access to you that shouldn't. It just means forgive them, for they know not what they do, you know? And even if they do know what they do, you don't want to hold that unforgiveness within yourself, because it's a 12-12, as I looked up. It's a pollution. It's a toxin. Unforgiveness will block you. Unforgiveness will block your vision. It will block the road ahead. So, like, offer forgiveness. I would really like to create a Ho'oponopono on the Seed, Soil, Water Spa co-channel, which is the one where it's just a mantra of thank you, please forgive me, I love you, I'm sorry. Or I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I don't know that there's a specific order, but it's kind of covering all of the bases of forgiveness, offering forgiveness, giving thanks, and giving love. Like, it's kind of covering that whole spectrum, and it can be really healing. So that's on my to-do list. Hey, by the way, if you're interested in learning or sampling life, reality, creation, life chat, how to change your life from wherever you're at now to getting into that higher perspective, to getting on the trajectory of that full restoration and the freedom that's your birthright. If you're like, I don't know how to do that, there are universal principles that you can tap into and apply to your life, and I've lived through them, and I'm continuing to live through them. I'm ready for my next level, so we're all going to do this together. It's a you versus you, but we're all going together, if that makes sense. So everybody's going to just show up. We're going to sampler different reality creation modalities and practice together. And the only way to start doing it is to start doing it. So we're just going to jump in. It's a free workshop. Click the link to register, and then you'll get an email with the link and the times and the details. And I look forward for all of us up-leveling. I want to encourage you too, no matter where you're at in your life, if you really commit yourself to being transformed by the renewing of your mind, 1414 as I looked up, if you really commit yourself to being transformed by the renewing of your mind, your life can quantum leap just like Mary Magdalene's did in like a year, okay? It can, the work, like the spiritual magic, whatever you want to call it, that magic elixir, that spiritual magic elixir is already available. It's already here. It's available to you. 1441, mirrored numbers. So it's just a matter of finding out what to do now, like how to activate it for yourself, how to apply it for yourself, how to lay hold of it for yourself. And there really are things you can do, practices you can do. There's universal principles. This place that we're in is a program that can be worked with. Okay? We can work with it. So that's my passion. That's why I'm here. That's why I had to go through a lot of things I went through. And same with you. You went through things not just because life is crap sometimes, but you went through things in order to learn these things so that you can teach other people, or so that you can just be the example that shows that anything is possible. You can get through anything. So anyway, welcome and subscribe. Make sure you save a video to the playlist. Come back every single Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for videos on this channel. Make sure that you come back, and remember to come back. Set a reminder if you need to. Don't let a robot be responsible for your future in terms of what they're going to deliver to you in your news feed. Make sure that you come back and proactively pursue that mind transforming type of information that will change your life. Okay? So welcome back. This is Brittany, Seed, Soil, Water. Be blessed, be well, be free.